Hello everyone, it is Briximus Prime, back at it again for another G.I. Joe action figure video, and today we're going to be taking a look at the G.I. Joe Classified series Snake Eyes. And yes, this is the Snake Eyes from the Snake Eyes movie, but I say that it doesn't matter, because this figure pretty much is not that different compared to other G.I. Joe action figures. And even then, this is still one of the most fantastic action figures I've ever handled. But before I start talking about the figure, we've got to talk about the packaging. He's got the nice plastic window right there with the backdrop, and then it's got the image of Snake Eyes right there. It says Snake Eyes, G.I. Joe Origins, G.I. Joe Classified Series Snake Eyes, Hasbro, all kinds of stuff here on the sides. Very nice artwork and such right here. And that's pretty much it for the packaging. Snake Eyes does come with a fair amount of accessories. I am going to mention it right here off the bat. I did have two of these. Snake Eyes comes with two of these identical knife accessories, but I seem to have misplaced one of them. Don't worry guys, I'm a professional. But again, it's the exact same thing, so, you know, here it is. You at least have one knife, but I did want it to be known that if you do buy this figure, it does come with two of these. And then he does also come with the, I may not be a really big G.I. Joe fan, but I definitely know that it is heresy for Snake Eyes to have an unmasked head. So we're just going to move right on into his sword. Very nice accessory, the morning light, and I totally didn't have to go and look that up again. Liar! But yeah, very nice looking sword here. Got the silver paint, got that little bit of gold trim right there, and then the black handle. And of course, it does have its sheath, which you can store away right there. And yeah, it just has a peg right there that plugs into the hole. The hole is one of those things where you have to align it through this strap right here. So it does get a little annoying, but you know, the peg just goes into the hole, like. And now let's take a look at Snake Eyes himself. Here's taking a look at Snake Eyes' real head sculpt. And overall, I think it looks pretty good. It kind of reminds me of the Snake Eyes head of, you know, like the helmet design of the one from those original live-action G.I. Joe movies, which, if that's a compliment or an insult, I'm gonna let you guys figure that out.
Shut up, bitch!
But overall, I do like the design, I think, because, I mean, this isn't really that different from other Snake Eyes head designs, just, you know, it's a lot more realistic, got a little bit more texturing in some areas that are different, like it is safe to say it's not that much different than Snake Eyes. Like, the figure looks like Snake Eyes, like, that's what's important here, but I like the live-action, like, movie details here. It's not completely just a black figure. There are some glossy blacks and then some matte.
Shut up, bitch!
There's just so much great, like, added detail that you only can really get on, like, a live-action style kind of action figure. Not that that's been a problem for the other G.I. Joe figures. The rest of the Classified series that are not from movies are also highly detailed as well, which is very impressive and very nice to see. But this is my first time actually handling a Classified series figure. This is my first impression of the G.I. Joe Classified series action figures. And it really makes me wonder, why did I not buy these sooner? They have so much, like, just detail and just overall, like, intricate looking parts, and the articulation is absolutely fantastic, and I only bought this figure for $10. That was kind of my main incentive for buying this figure, was the fact that I got him for really cheap, but it's so nice that, like, it blows my mind that this thing even went on, you know, clearance for $10 in the first place. Like, the figure itself is pretty plain. I mean, that is accurate to Snake Eyes. He's always been just a plain black figure. I mean, I do appreciate the matte black and then the glossy black, definitely, and then the little bits of red. It does add a little bit of difference, but I still like it. Like, even though it is a bit of a plain figure, that's not where this figure stands out.
We'll never forget you. For what you've done, Snake Eyes. We owe you our lives.
I was very surprised by the articulation on this guy. The head, the only head, can look up about that far. Could have been higher, but it can at least look down pretty far, and it can look side to side a fair amount. Shoulders rotate a full 360. They do have a tight butterfly joint in there, but it is functional. And then he does get a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, the wrists rotate and hinge up and down. He does get a he has a ball joint at the base of the diaphragm that's like around his pelvis, which acts as a waist swivel and as an extra diaphragm joint, along with an actual ab crunch. It allows for his back to arch back really far with both of those joints in tandem, which also allow for him to crunch really far, diaphragm pivoting. And then he also has the Marvel Legends Spider-Man shifting down hips, which I think these figures actually had that before the Spider-Man, actually. But that allows for his legs to kick up really high, a lot higher than some Marvel Legends. They even can kick back a lot farther than some Marvel Legends. It also allows for his legs to spread out really far. He also has a nice thigh swivel, double jointed knees, the ankles can move up, they can move down, and he has some nice ankle pivot. Like, it's safe to say that the articulation here is very ninja-like. Like, this thing really can pull off a lot of great poses, and now it's starting to make sense why so many people were praising the Classified series, and why the Classified series is seen as such a great toy line in general. He could have used some extra hands, though.
Shut up, bitch!
And now getting into comparisons, like I said before, this is my first Classified series figure, so I don't really have any Classified series figures to compare it with, but I do still have some G.I. Joe related figures in my collection. Here he is with my previous G.I. Joe review, the G.I. Joe crossover series Megatron Hiss Tank. And then here he is compared to the Megatron while it's in its Hiss Tank form. And of course, this isn't to scale, because this is for the 3 3/4 inch figures, but I mean, you could try, I guess.
Who's a big boy?
I'm a big boy!
Who's a great big boy?
I'm a great big boy!
A big boy!
And then just to, get the point across of, like, the scale and what kind of audience of, like, action figure scale the Classified series kind of appeals to. Here's a Marvel Legends Black Panther and Star Wars The Black Series Darth Vader, and, they're kind of dark characters that also kind of are in that 6-inch scale. So, yeah, that is pretty much it for comparisons. And yeah, that is pretty much it for the Snake Eyes figure from the Snake Eyes movie, the Classified Series one. Pretty much, the figure is pretty basic. I mean, it is worth the $10 price, but again, he's also nothing too spectacular. That being said, though, he is a fantastic action figure, like, as a whole. The articulation's great. The detail isn't quite there, but I mean, that's not a complaint. That's just, a plain fact about it. And just overall, I don't really have anything to complain about. Like, I'm genuinely surprised that I haven't been collecting G.I. Joe that much, especially with these action figures around. These action figures are fantastic. And it is a great time to get into G.I. Joe lately, because the toys have been amazing, the comic books are really rolling out, and it's just really great right now. And I'm sure there's going to be some more movies, and of course, there's the infamous, And then here he is with a future member of the G.I. Joe, Noah Diaz, from Transformers Rise of the Beasts. From the twist ending nobody wanted. I'm hoping the future installments of G.I. Joe and Transformers together does change my opinion and makes me think more positively on G.I. Joe, but as it stands, I'm not really that excited about it. But that being said, I still have a lot of respect for G.I. Joe, and I absolutely love this figure. I give it a very solid 9 out of 10, because I'm just being honest. And yeah, that is basically it for this review. If you guys liked it, give me a like on the video, comment below what you guys think, subscribe to the channel for more G.I. Joe, Transformers, and action figure videos, and I'll catch you guys next time.